I wanted to show you the ease of application with Seint. If you're new to Seint, it is called the 5-minute face for a reason. I can do my whole complexion in about 5 minutes and then take the rest to do my eyes. But everything magnets into one palette. So my whole face is in this one palette. So I have complexion products here and lip and cheek and eyeshadows there. So I tend to keep my nails long. So I typically like to pick the product up with a brush called the smudge brush. I keep one end for my lighter colors and then the other end for my contour. So I'm picking up my brightening highlight. So think typically where you want to draw attention to, and that's typically the center of your face, and then also where you want to conceal. So the areas where you would normally conceal and want to bring brightness. Outer corners, and then I use this to prime my lids for shadow. So that is the brightening highlight done. So think concealer. Next, going in with that same end, I'm going into my darker color. So still a highlight shade, but it's in a bit of a deeper color. So think more of your foundation color. So going to put that in most areas where the lighter shade is not. Done. Going over to the other end now, picking up my contour, carving out those cheekbones across my hairline. Doesn't this look crazy? Jawline and nose. Finishing that nose contour. And then I am blending out, because I want a light to medium coverage, I'm going in with my 3D brush. So with the domed end, I'm blending out the larger areas, and I like to work from light to dark. So starting with any of the areas I added brightness, and I'm kind of pushing that product into the skin. And it's cream, so it's going to blend out super easily. Once that brightening highlight is all blended out, then I'm going to move to the darker color, so my main foundation shade. This is the quickest and easiest makeup application ever. I mean, it looks scary and messy, but it just all melts together so beautifully. So now my foundation, my concealer is done. So using that same brush, going to blend up and back to blend out my contour. Drag a little bit down the neck, get those like a cohesive shade match. Contour. And then same thing on my forehead, still using that same end. Okay, and then for my nose contour, I just flip the brush around and use the pointed end to blend out that nose contour. And a next and completely optional step, a step that I never miss, is bronzer. So I'm just tapping on Bella bronzer with my finger. I like my finger for this, to get a controlled yet more of a thin application. Sometimes with a brush, it could go on just a little bit too saturated. So I like the warmth of my finger to kind of almost have it sheer on the skin. And then I am using my blush and bronzer brush, the smaller end, to blend that out. Bronzer is magic, I think, for your complexion year round. So one side done. And then after this step, choosing a lip and cheek of your choice. So I'm just going to tap a little bit on my cheeks. This is a very deep shade, so a little goes a long way. And then using the fluffier end of the blush and bronzer brush, I'm just going to, I kind of like to squeeze the brush a little bit so I can get kind of a controlled blend. But look at that. So from here, if you want to set with powder, you would set with powder. If you wanted to add illuminator, you can add an illuminator. I'm oily, so I always set with powder. So my face is set. And my last step that I do for my complexion, I never skip bronzer and I never skip illuminator. So a light dusting is really all you need, but it just adds this youthful glow to the skin that is so flattering. I like to do the typical cheekbone. I like to go just a touch down the bridge of my nose. So again, drawing attention and light to the center of the face. And then I like to go on my Cupid's bow. Makeup should not be overwhelming. So the whole point with Seint is to simplify and to build confidence. So when I color match you, we are dealing with complexion first. So we are going to give you your 3D foundation and 1, maybe 2 brushes max. Then if you want to get into the fun stuff, be it eyeshadows, brows, different colors of lip and cheeks, that is extras. That's down the road. But first, complexion is key, and then the rest is just fun. And it is so quick and easy. If you're needing a shade match, DM me and I will get right on it so you can do your face in 5 minutes or less.